Hello, everyone. I'm Jean-Claude at BeyondMystic, and welcome to this deep woo-woo special holiday edition of the Wacky Woo with my friend and treasure hunter extraordinaire, Mr. JSNIP4. You can find his work at patreon.com/JSNIP4 and also here on YouTube at JSNIP4 too. Joe, welcome back to the show, man.
How's it going? Doing good.
I'm doing well. How are you?
Good. I'm all standing up, ready to go.
I love the poster with you in the hat and those eyeballs, man. It gets me every time. So, you almost ready for the little holiday break here yourself?
Yep, just a few more days, It's just like, man, it's going to be here pretty quick.
Yep. Well, welcome, everyone, and thank you for joining us here on this holiday week special shows. This is the first one, I guess, of us wearing our crazy hats. Well, actually, I had today one with Jim Willie earlier in the morning, and I'm going to say you might want to watch it quicker or sooner than later because I might have to delete it. Jim made a few boo-boos and some bad words, like really, really bad words.
Oh, yeah.
I don't want to get in trouble just before Christmas, So anyways, thank you guys for joining us tonight. It is the Wacky Woo, and it is especially so the Wacky Woo tonight. So be that as it may, we might
double wacky, I would say.
Wackiness. Yeah, more than wacky. Joe. All right.
Yes.
Man, you and I were having fun earlier today. We were talking over the phone, and you had this crazy story about how. Oh, I don't know where you want to start. Wait. No. Okay.
It's your show, man. You tell me where we're going.
Yeah, exactly.
I know. See, I know what we need to do. You think about it, and I'm going to talk to all the fans out there.
Okay.
Tell me what movie this was from. Hold on. Where's that stupid thing at? Hurry up, kid. You're holding up the line. Let's see the comments, man. Come on. What movie?
Tell us.
Let's see if anyone gets it first.
The first one that does, I'll give you a silver dollar, a Canadian silver dollar pre-68 for the first answer. I don't see it yet.
Yeah, I know there's a delay. Yeah, he got it. Terrible certainty, I think, got it. Oh, no. Inclusive model designs.
Inclusive. Wait. It's going too fast. Hold on. Let me see if I can find that. Man, I just saw it. Holy crap.
Yeah, let me.
When people are in here?
Home Alone. No, not Home Alone. Not Home Alone.
This one.
Inclusive model designs. I think that was the first. That's what on my screen too.
Okay. Inclusive model designs. You're the winner of a silver coin, a Canadian silver coin pre-68. So contact me through my contact form on my website, the pay-per-view contact form, and let me know you're the winner and what your mailing address is, and I'll get that to you. So
okay. Quite a few people got it too, though. So that's pretty interesting.
Congratulations, everybody. We're just gonna have some fun here tonight. Okay, Joe, where do we start? Let's start with crypto. I mean, so we might have some wackiness a little bit later on. So before we get into all that wackiness, let's get some stuff out of the way here. A lot of people are watching the market right now. Not only are we not sideways, we're a little bit down, and we're expecting to see fireworks in December. We're not quite there yet. Can you explain what you asked Spirit to give you and what you got in response, and how that relates to what Cliff I is talking about here? And again, repeating to you and I, guys, panic to own. The temporal markers are hitting right, left, and center. We're almost there. So let's get started with that, Joe.
Yeah. So I saw yesterday, last night. Oh, and mute your mic, your thing. I can hear myself. All right. Yeah, so I think it was last night. I go to bed, and I'm like, I'm seeing people, asking questions and Patreon posts, Telegram, just you can see it and feel it. Are we gonna dump even harder? What do I do? I thought we were supposed to go up by now. What's happening? People are a little on edge. And I'm like, all right, guys, guides, spirit guides. I'm like, a lot of my Patreon members are kind of, on edge. The market dropped a bunch. Yeah, my orders filled. I was happy, but not so much for everybody else, or they got in a little higher, didn't have any more money, whatever. So, in that case, you have to wait. It's just a waiting game. So now Woo Dude, I think he's been saying, I think this is going to be more into January than December anyways. But, again, remains to be seen. We'll find out. So I said, can you give me a dream tonight? Anything with crypto that just give me like a little bit of a direction to kind of ease their pain or ease them a little bit. They're worried, they're nervous. I don't need prices or anything. Just can I get some kind of dream that'll tell me, are we going to, hey guys, we're going down. They showed me a dream we're going down more, or they showed me this, or honestly, I got nothing. So I wake up. I did have a dream last night, and I was playing this old video game, Halo Combat Evolved, the very first one, which me and my friends, Sean and a bunch of others, that's partially where old JSNIP, J Sniper came from. But back then, we had different names, anyways, just for fun. But anyways, I'm playing this old game. There's hardly any servers there on the list.
Wait. JSNIP comes from J Sniper?
Sniper. Yeah, because my gaming name, he was Sean S Sniper, and I was J Sniper because we would play these games and snipe, you snipe some bitches. So
who knew? Okay.
Yeah. So then I went and joined YouTube, and it was like J Sniper's taken. Well, how about this way? No, it's taken. How about this? And it goes, well, how about JSNIP4? And I go, F it, give me the stupid name. Yes, I'll take it. So that's where JSNIP4 came from. But anyway, so I get this dream, and I wake up and I go, I don't know that was. I mean, I didn't get the feeling of, oh, they gave me a download. Oh my God, I know that feeling. When I wake up, my body's like Voodoo says, spirits all over my ass. Like, yeah, that energy's all over me. I know they gave me something. It wasn't that. I didn't feel that. But there's Voodoo. I was telling him, he goes, there still might be some symbology in there. We're at war, and cryptos is on our side too. We're using that. It's part of the war, but they can still manipulate it. I'm going, yeah, all right, maybe okay. So, anyways. I'm like, well, I didn't really get a dream. I didn't get anything that I would say was useful for crypto news in any way, shape, or form. So I guess I'm not going to post anything on Patreon. Not that they knew I was doing this that night anyways, last night. And then all of a sudden, my friend Steven, Crypto Karaoke, does all those songs, sends me a text message in the morning. I'm still laying in bed. Ding. Oh, it's Steven. What was he saying? And he goes, hey, I had a dream. Most vivid, crazy dream. I remember everything. I don't have dreams like this. He goes, I was, I'm not going to be too specific. He goes, I was unloading a certain crypto that I was staking. And, it takes this amount of days to unstake that one. It's a little longer than normal. But I was unstaking it so I could sell it. He goes, so I was doing it in advance of something. Maybe when the thing's done staking, it'll be ready to be sold. Then maybe I can sell it. So I call them. I go, well, wait a minute. In your dream, did you feel like, oh my God, a bad feeling? The market's dumping. I better get out while I can. I don't care if I have to wait a certain number of days to get out of staking. He goes, oh no. It was not that kind of the thing. He's like, I was consciously making this decision in my dream. I'm getting out of this thing because I'm going to make some big, nice profit on this. Basically, he goes, so I was preparing in advance. It was like I had foreknowledge of. You got to get out now because when everyone else sees, hey, the market's really up. Whoa, that one coin too is way up. Let's get it. Let's sell. Well, how do I sell? Well, you got to unstake it. Well, how long does it take to unstake? A little while, days and days. So he goes, I was ahead of the curve. He goes, I'm telling you right now though, and I don't know if it was because I called them to tell him, well, dude, I asked for the dream and you got it. And I said, this has happened to me twice. One with my friend Amy, one with my wife Evelyn. For those of you who remember Evelyn. I was asking about, XRP or something. She wakes right up next to me. They showed me this thing with you and Dave. You're, 2-2 and 2-2. And remember, it dumped from 70 down to 22.
Yeah, exactly.
But I was the one asking, and I was still awake. I was kind of laying there, talking to them, in my head. And she's already sleeping like usual. My wife, she wakes up. Oh my God, I just had this dream. Whoa. And I'm like, you got that right now? I was like, I was just asking. Right now. She goes, I know, I just woke up. I go, oh my God. So that was last year. That was late last year. Matter of fact, it was around this time. I should say last year, around December, as a matter of fact, which is actually ironic. It was literally right around this time. I'm talking days. If I had my old YouTube channel, I could go check. I swear to God, we were within days probably of that dream and then it happened. Well, I shouldn't say the dream. Actually, I think XRP, the lawsuit news came out right around now last year. But anyways, and that's what caused it to dump to 22. So I had that happen with my wife. Had it happen with my friend Amy, and it just happened again. So Steven is and again, I didn't ask him, because he goes, by the way, today I'm going to go ahead and unload some of mine right now, now, and wait this period to get it staked, to unstake it. And when it comes to me, I'll have it. And, if by chance period of time goes by and I'm it's not happening, boom. I'll just go back in and start staking again. So he goes, but I'm going to do that right now. So I never asked him, well, are you doing that because I now called you to tell you I'm the one that asked for the dream and you got it? So that's just double confirmation? Or were you excited enough on your own with your own dream without me calling you to do it? Honestly, not that even matters. because to me, those two things are like they're one in the like they. You can't have one without the other. I couldn't ask for a dream and have him get it.
So to be clear for the audience, your dream manifested through Stephen at Crypto Karaoke, and he was on staking, ready to be able to sell to make massive profits.
Yeah, it was one specific coin, but again, it could have been a general statement for the market.
Right.
Saying
and typically that really coin that he's talking about is also moving, generally speaking, with the market. So so far,
yes,
yeah. Okay,
absolutely, it's down with the rest of the market right now. You know,
right.
I did post it on Patreon, like I said, but that was a little private thing, so I just I won't be too specific. But it's still worth mentioning, the dream and all that stuff, because let's see what happens. And here's the thing: let's just say in between now and the time he gets his coins, the market absolutely pukes,
right?
Even more. But then it goes way back up. It still doesn't matter. His stuff is still valid. His dream's still valid. He got his shit in time and sold when it went back up. Way up.
So guys, if you want insights on these dreams and more of JSNIP4's crypto calls, you're looking for JSNIP4's crypto woo-woo here on his Patreon at patreon.com/JSNIP4. And while we're talking about the amazing Steven, you guys have to go check this last video. A very Brandon Christmas, of course, a theme on the Brady Bunch here. This is absolutely hilarious. You can find him at Crypto Karaoke here on YouTube. So go check. Let me bring that link down for you.
And he might have some crypto addresses in his description. So you want to throw him a little tip, like if you're real proud of him. You can throw him a bone.
Throw him a bone. Yeah, he probably has a.
Give me a freaking
all those addresses here are below
there it goes.
Video. Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Give him a little tip. It's Christmas. It's the season to be giving, of course. And and if you wanted some shits and giggles, go check out this little clip that he isolated from one of my past videos. And it's funny. Right after that show with Joe and Cliff, I said to Cliff and Joe, we were on the post show, and like, somebody's going to make a clip of this thing or make a song with this. And of course, the next day, Steven was posting this on his YouTube channel and all over Twitter. I'm like, oh, shit. Okay, I won't talk about what's in there. You guys can go and check it out. And while you're there, of course, make sure to subscribe to Steven here. It does amazing.
Yeah, every now and then he'll do, like, he doesn't post frequently, but that's like, we'll be talking about it for, oh my God, this song, so he do the 12 Days of Christmas, which is what you just saw.
Right.
It's great. It's freaking great.
Exclusive model designs. Of course, he just won that silver coin. He's asking, hey, how do I contact JC? Okay, through my contact form. Let me bring this back up on the screen for you. So go to beyondmystic.net/contact-us. Let me bring that link right down to the chat here. And all you have to do is fill out that form and just let me know who you are, what your email address is, but put in the title there that you're the winner of my silver coin, and I'll get that to you as soon as I can. You, she, her, whatever. I don't know about the nickname here.
They, them,
who you are.
Like the name tag at Outback. They,
right. Okay. Okay. So the reason you and I wanted to talk about silver, about crypto here, before we talk about silver and before we have maybe some wackiness happening here, starting at 8:30, there's one wacky person coming on, and then another one maybe at 8:45. So guys, if you're looking at your watch right now, stay tuned for some more crazy, wacky shit. But the reason we're talking about that, again, is because we're looking at all of these temporal markers. Joe and I had done this video about a month ago now, I think with Cliff High. We're at about 170,000 views on this one. It was the Webbot Reports Uncensored. And so we went through all of these special temporal markers here with Cliff. One of those was the panic to own. Now, as a result of that video, as a result of everything that's happening in the world right now, Joe and I did put together this course for you guys. Let me bring that up. And Joe, if you want to explain a little bit here, what the audience can expect here and why we recommend they educate themselves now sooner than later.
Yeah, you do not want to be a crypto newbie when the panic to own that Cliff High's Webbot has been talking about a long time ago. It's been a few years now. Mm-hmm. But all that data from 2016, 17, even 15 is now making incredible sense. So because of that, you need to... Oh, can you mute again?
Yep.
Because of that, we're looking at, and he's looking at especially, Cliff, where's all these temporal markers that said, well, when this happens, this next thing will happen. When that next thing happens, oh shit, there's $600 silver, that kind of a thing. Or, oh my God, there's panic to own crypto, which was a big one in his Webbot reports. And he's been telling us lately, I think when we did our video with him a while back, he said the same things. Like, yeah, we've already got some temporal markers now. So there's some other ones I think recently that hit. I'm not sure specifically which part was which, but
Well, let me add just here before you keep going here on the course. The last one that just recently hit was the fact that Reggie Middleton was now back in the limelight and back in the good books, basically being awarded this patent for DeFi, which is again was the precursor to the government coming back hat in hand to Reggie Middleton to try to fix these broken markets. So we're in that thick data set right now, and most of those temporal markers have already hit. We're still waiting for the $600 silver and this panic to own, but we're inching days, hours away from that now. So keep going here on the special course we've put together.
Right. So, and by the way, you know, Cliff had told us, he goes, you know, it would, because we were talking with him, he's like, it would not be a bad idea for you guys to go do that, because when people come in for the panic to own crypto specifically, they're going to be hitting everybody up, all of us. They're going to be emailing, contact messages. How do I do this? I need in. Help me. Where do I join your thing? And we're gonna be like, I don't even have time to reply. I got, you know, a million emails. JC's got a million emails. Cliff's got a million emails. So we're like, JC, let's put something together. It'll be on your site, you know, because I got my Patreon thing going on. We'll just do your website. You already got set up anyways for this kind of thing. And we'll do like a special video, he and I, and then we'll also include a few courses that I had put up earlier on my own site, which we've added a few things to that with him. So if you're new, you're going to want to check this stuff out before the panic to own happens, because when that happens, you and everybody else is going to be doing the same thing because you saw the same thing and or experienced the same thing. I'm freaking out. Oh my God, this stuff's exploding. My friends have been telling me about this stupid crypto stuff, and damn it, I just didn't listen. It went higher. I didn't listen. There was a recent pullback, maybe right now, right? I didn't listen then. It was a good time to buy. My friend once again told me to get in. I didn't do it. Now I'm panicking, and I don't care what the price is. I got to get some.
Yeah.
And you're going to look, where do I go? How do I do it? How do I buy it? Can I buy it with cash? Where can I do that at? And if I do that, how do I get other crypto that exchange that took cash doesn't have? Because I want these other ones. JC, Joe, whoever, Cliff, they're talking about these. We want these. How do I get those? Well, they're not over there. Some of them, right? So we go through all that in these tutorials. So yeah. I show you how to use, Coinbase, how to use Exodus wallet, how to do a swap on Exodus, how to send something to Exodus, send it out of Exodus, how to take something and go to a different exchange, for example, like Mandela, and use a VPN, because you need to use a VPN if you're going to go there to get some of these like special coins. But you may not want to. Like that's, like I say, it's cheap fees that they charge, but you might be able to swap some stuff on Exodus and say, this is too complicated, I'll just do it on Exodus. But I show you how to do that too. It just costs you a little more for their fees.
Right.
But and you have choices, and you can make that.
Yeah, and we originally set out to do this in 2 hours, but we realized, to do it well, let's take our time, Joe. So Joe went step by step, creating our wallet, how to do that safely, your password, how to save your passwords, where to save them, like all of these things. And so far, a lot of you have watched this video and gave us feedback and say, oh my God, thank you so much. I wouldn't have figured this out by myself, or it would have taken me a whole month of reading to catch up to what you guys just told me in 2 hours. That's the beauty of this thing here. It'll get you started. That's why we called it the crash course. And we added a few extra bonuses at the bottom of the page there too, some extra discount codes to some of our projects and products that are adjacent to this as well. So guys, go check it out. And of course, it is the season to be giving. And right now, Joe and I, for a limited time, I've decided to give you guys a new coupon code for this Panic to Own video, and that will give you 20% off, and it's Holiday 20. Joe, do you want to sing a song?
Holiday, it would feel so right. Oh, wait a minute, that was Celebrate. Sorry about that, guys.
Yeah. Well, I think we're going to celebrate, and that's the point. If you're prepared, you're going to celebrate. If you're not prepared, you're going to be in panic mode. That's what we're trying to avoid for you guys. And honestly, guys, whether you take our course or somebody else's, oh my God, spend the time
do
now.
Something. Yeah.
Something. Exactly. And on that note too, on Wednesday I did this last video with Janine where we talked about silver again. People keep asking us at every episode, okay, what about silver? What about silver? And I had to bring this little clip up here. I'll show you guys. And I said, okay, Janine, how many more times can I ask you? She keeps pulling the same cards live. I mean, what are the odds of that, right? And I said, well, let me ask you differently this time around. What does universe want to say to the people who have not yet bought silver? Picks up the first card. It's like, oh, procrastination. And then, okay, you're going to be sad if you don't. Like, so go check out this little clip here And again, just do something, guys. Don't wait for everything else. Don't wait for that external myth savior thing. Empowerment is key here, and knowledge is all of it. So study, 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 and then make the moves to protect yourself and your family. All right, Joe, we're about 6 minutes away here from 8:30 from our next round of wackiness. Do you want to quickly talk about your treasure hunting?
Yeah, this is an interesting story.
Yeah, let's get into that for the audience here. And, you know, guys, you have to understand that Joe and I spend a crazy amount of time in the car together, driving across the country, flying around the world. And we usually sing and do these kind of weird rap songs together. We have a lot of fun, and we typically pee our pants. So anyways, when he told me this earlier, I was like, oh man, I can't wait to go back and do more travel hunting with you. Of course, there's a situation happening around the planet that makes that a little bit difficult.
Yeah.
For me as a Canadian right now.
Hoping by spring, you know, maybe, but again, we have to play that by ear. Who knows?
Yeah. So let us know what's going on with this new edition.
Our friend who lives out in New Mexico, who's the one that initially I contacted whatever through another acquaintance. That's how we became friends. But he's got a million stories. You know, he's not found anything though. But the thing is, like, you're not going to just find something. There's not just be an open hole when you go there. It's all hidden. So you got to know how to read the rocks and the Spanish code and all that stuff, right? So, but he's been out there a lot trying to find it, you know, and so he's met a lot of people, you know, you name it. So there was an author of a book. And he wrote a book about the Doc Nos treasure in Victoria Peak, which is also in New Mexico. And the story goes that Doc Nos found it, went in, was pulling stuff out of there for a long time, actually. But there was a massive amount in there. White Sands Mill Range gets wind of it because he files a treasure trove claim on it. And then they're like, we're extending our border, you know, off limits over here past your peak just slightly. Oh, you're off limits now. Yeah, that's Bat Cave over there. That one. That was our old video, wasn't it? Those are some cool places we went to. So I
decided to put this clip while you were talking because it was deleted again with my last channel and people haven't seen that. So keep going.
Yeah, there's some of the places we were at. So he'd tell me, you know, fast forward, you know, the story goes according to the author that Nixon and Johnson stole the gold. They flew it down to, I think, Nixon's ranch down in Texas, and then from there they did something with it. And that's where the book says, you know, that's the last we know of it. A guy contacts the author. This is like over 20 years ago now, so early 2000s. And he says, hey, do you know anyone who could take me up in this particular mountain over in that area? And I'm not going to say which mountain in this particular case. I'll keep that one quiet because this is kind of a new area. But he goes, you know, I want to be taken up there and I'm looking for something. He goes, well, my friend so-and-so, which is my friend now, he can take you anywhere. He's been up that mountain for a long time. He knows everywhere. Okay, so the guy comes in, and he's like, all right, my friend's staying here, and your friend stays here. Just us two go. So my buddy and this guy go, and this guy's like 90-something years old at the time. Okay, this guy. And he's telling them the story, though, of why he's back there. And he says there is a metal barrel, that was filled with this treasure that was stolen initially, and he was the pilot of the plane that I guess was a big military plane loaded with barrels of this stuff, gold and stuff, and they flew it up to a certain path over a very specific mountain, and they dumped one of the barrels off, him and one guy that was with him, I guess his co-pilot or whatever. They go to California, they dump another barrel off right offshore. And he says he tells them, I killed the guy that was with me because I didn't want to take a chance of anyone finding out because nobody knew we did that. That was our own little stash, you know. So he goes, I killed the guy that was with me. He's just telling them this. And so, all right, let's go. So Tito's, you know, my buddy Tito's taking him around everywhere. And he's like, you know, let's go this way. Let's go that way. Nah, it doesn't look familiar. They get to this area. Guy's eyes lights up. Oh. Yeah. Okay, this looks familiar. I think this might be it. All right, take me back. He takes him back, and the whole time he's back, the guy's like reaching into his shirt and stuff, like making Tito real nervous, my friend. So they get back, and he tells his friend, the author, hey, this guy's reaching. I think he's reaching for a gun, man. And so the guy throws him up against the old man against the vehicle, and he's reaching right there. So the guy rips his shirt open. Sure enough, there's a gun. He pulls it out, like, what the F are you doing? What's wrong with you? Well, I wasn't going to do nothing. He's like, well, why were you reaching? Why are you reaching for that after you basically find the area? Oh, I wasn't going to, He's like, F you, I'm out of here. Find somebody else. Well, he didn't find anybody else. Nobody else would take him anyway. So they left. Everybody left. And that was the end of it. So I get this feeling, oh, my God, you got to call Desiree. She's the one you need a reading from. It's been a long time. She's given you stuff in the mountain before. You need to connect with her. So I contact her. Hey, how about tomorrow morning? Sure, 9 o'clock? Done. Last Sunday. I contact her, ask her about it. And before I can even get the words out of my mouth, is the story real? Now, I know my friend telling it me is real, but what the old man told him, is that really real? And before I can even get the word, she goes, yes, they're saying yes. They say yes. I go, yeah, I was going to ask if the story is real. She goes, yeah, they're saying yes. She goes, they just spit it out before you can say it. I go, yeah, I know. She goes, and they're saying, though, I mean, what you already know it's true. Like, why you? And I'm going, well, just because, I might know what my feelings are, but,
It's always nice to have confirmation.
Yeah, so that was that, right? Long story short. So I'm like, okay, see you later. Here's, I'll pay you PayPal. See you later. And time for my family to go to breakfast, to meet a friend, go to breakfast. We get on the road. I've been on this road a million times. And yes, I've seen the old, tires and pieces of furniture and that crap on the side of the road, of course. But I've never seen a rusty metal 55-gallon drum on its side sitting on the side of the road. And that day, right after the reading, half hour later, there it is in front of me on the side of the road. And I go, what's the chances of it? I'm thinking, have you ever seen a barrel over here? Like, I pay attention to stuff. I know I've seen a mattress. I've seen some furniture. I've seen broken, beat up, like,
and you've seen the 222s everywhere?
Seen the 222. Yeah, I said I pay attention. I remember stuff. I'm going, I don't ever think I've seen a barrel of rusty metal 55-gallon drum. I mean, this thing's in terrible condition. And I'm thinking, well, so with this one, if it was 40 years old, if it's even, what's left of it, it probably exploded. She said it did probably explode, So anyways, I get this, what I feel is confirmation, like, you got to go find it. But he said to me, he goes, Joe, I can't even tell you where this is. He goes, I'll just tell you a general area. And it's not anywhere near where we do our stuff, unfortunately, because I've been out there scoping out. But at the same time, he's like, when you come up next time in person, he goes, then I'll tell you. He goes, you never know who's this on these damn phones, man. He goes, I just don't even want to say it because this is a good one. I go, yeah, don't tell me. Even if I want to, don't tell me.
Yeah, don't
wait till I do see you. I said, as a matter of fact, when I do see you, I might have that damn helicopter, which could come in useful.
Speaking of don't tell, Cliff High sent me something the other day. He says you can share it with Joe, but you have to swear him to secrecy. So this is one of those temporal marker things. I'm like, okay, Zip, I can't share it with you guys now. I guess we don't want any feedback loops on what's happening right now. And Cliff was pretty adamant about that. So I said, okay, we're not going to share that on our show tonight.
But it is a temporal marker that has been mentioned before.
Yeah.
Basically the main event has been mentioned before. Yeah. So, and of course, there's several of those out there, so we're not going to say which one. But I will tell you guys, again, temporal marker, boom, here's what happens next. It's that kind of thing. There's no timing in there. Sometimes he gets it, sometimes he doesn't.
Right.
But, this one I thought, by the way, like, okay, here we go. And again, after I got this info from JC per Cliff, which was earlier today, we're like, I think we should mention the crypto crash course again, just in case. Because I think some things might lead into this, might lead into that, and the next thing you know, that's going to be coming up. So, I can say that much. So that's why we chose to talk about this, because if this temporal marker for this event's coming, and this other temporal marker for that event, and then there's a third temporal marker for this event, and that one might be the crypto one, you know what? It's time to just at least talk about it again. So maybe when Cliff lets us tell you what it is, then we'll just say it. But I don't think he wants any kind of feedback loops or anything in there.
Right. Okay. What's funny in all of this too, I just started this show by saying Joy and I spent crazy amounts of time in the car laughing and peeing our pants and joking and singing and all this stuff. And just so you know, Joe speaks more than one language. I just did my first ever French broadcast last week, but Joe also speaks a different language. So I'm going to play the end of this clip here so you know who he's talking to and how they're responding. So let me bring that up. Hopefully we can hear this okay.
No! Go ahead. No! See, I speak your language.
I forgot about that.
That was so funny. Of course, we were waiting for the cows to cross the street, and they didn't want to cross. Anyway. Okay, we just kind of had so much fun with that. All right, guys, we are 2 minutes late here, but it is.
Are they there?
Yeah. And there's
Oh,
more
okay.
wackiness coming just right now. I can see somebody entering our studio here. And of course, it is none other than Mr. Richard Woo Woo Dude. You can find him at woowoodude.com. Let's give him a big warm welcome back to the show. Woo Woo Dude, how's it going, man?
Well, I don't know. Can you hear me?
We can hear you. Let me see here.
Sounds good.
You can bring your mic volume just up a little bit.
Or just bring it closer to you.
Or closer.
Right. How's
What
that?
do you got? Let me see. Keep going.
Is that good?
It's better. It's better. We can do better.
Okay.
How's it going, Richard?
What about your settings, JC? Do you need to mess with your settings? Or for
I can bring him up from my side a little bit if we can. Let me do that.
So, guys, you look really festive. Coming from Santa.
Santa's elves.
Wait,
he
now
just
we
put.
can't hear him. What the hell just happened? Hold on, Richard. We can't hear you. That should work. Yeah, when I tried to adjust him from my side, it just went. It just put him into mute for some reason. I don't know how to fix it. Richard, are you still
Can
there?
you unmute?
I am.
There you go. Okay, you don't have a volume knob on the microphone?
Yeah, I've turned it up.
Can you turn it up a little bit more?
Sure.
Yeah, we want to make sure we hear you this time.
Wow. 1, 2, 3.
It's not bad.
Sounds okay.
It's better than before. All right.
Yeah, you think?
Okay. So yes, we're very festive, and a lot of people commented on the last show that Woo Woo Dude looked like Santa Claus. So we thought we'd do the honor. But where's your hat? What the hell, Richard?
You rat bastard stole it. Before we start this, we must go into deep meditation and be one with the vulture.
Okay.
Now that we're over that, we all need to be patient here.
You know what I think is happening, Richard?
What?
I think your mic is plugged in, but the application on whatever tablet you're using is trying to use your external mic as opposed, your onboard mic as opposed to the external one. So if you look,
do you have a setting? Yeah.
Yeah, go below here. It says cam mic setting. You'll see a little wheel, and go in the microphone and select your outboard microphone. That's why you're adjusting volume, and we can't hear the difference. Sorry, guys, little technical difficulties. Joe, do you want to sing the Jeopardy song while we wait?
Or I could do
Some
the.
beatbox?
What was the Weird Al version?
Huh? Oh, yeah.
I lost on Jeopardy.
Jeopardy. How about some beatboxing? Something. Joe, take it away.
I lost on Jeopardy.
Baby.
Oh. Did you get it?
I don't know. Is it working?
Oh, I think it
Sounds okay.
Sounds better now.
Okay. And you can see.
And bring up your volume again, Mike. Bring up the little knob. Do you have a gain? What does it say? Is it green, yellow, or red? Is it colors or numbers?
Yeah.
Oh, on the mic or where?
Yeah. What kind of mic did you buy him, Joe?
It was something that would work on a host of things, like a nice, pretty good mic.
Okay.
Oh well, let's get this thing on the go here.
Let's go, Richard. People are excited to know what the hell is going on here. We're just before maybe a lot of the wackiness starting here, perhaps in the next couple of hours or days even. What have you, sir, to say to the audience tonight?
Well, as you know, Joe and I talk a lot, and I've been getting a lot of spirit telling me 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. I'm going, wow, okay. So things are going to start happening just like that, in threes, and what I really believe. And again, I'm getting this from my gut, okay? Well, that's interesting. I got Burl Ives singing here, silver and gold for Christmas. So listen, I think it was the last time, or maybe 2 months ago, we talked about the Canary Islands, and I said to you that I want to put it past the higher powers that even if the whole frickin' island snapped in half, that nothing would happen. Nothing happened, huh? And it shut down. We really have some higher powers that are getting involved. Now, I also believe, and I said this maybe a month ago, that I really believe that we'll see something immediately now with Russia, Ukraine, China, Taiwan, and Israel and Iran. I said that over a month ago. And I really believe, again, that's the 1, 2, 3. Now, I also believe that whatever this is kinetically or whatever happens here, that it'll be very, very fast. And I really believe that this will also bring in the change across the world of a new financial system that is more fair, instead of being controlling of countries who think they have all the power out there and then are about to realize that, oh shit, I think the world's changed a little bit. And I think this is where America's going to get shaken, all right, and then come to a realization that this should be the better way to be fair across the whole world financially. And I really think that there'll be a change in the SWIFT system and everything else. Again, did Spirit come out and just say this? No. But this is my gut. This is what I've been getting. This is what I kind of got to stick through. And I got to say, before on the way up here, I said to Spirit, give me a sign, would you? Immediately, a big freaking owl flies right in front of my window. I went, dude. And you can really spot them. They got big fat heads when they fly by.
Yeah.
I went,
Yeah.
all right, that's cool. And, you know, I say to a lot of people out there, they're connecting really strong right now. I want you all to think of yourself as, I don't know the proper word for it, Cliffwood, but people that are computer experts or write, I don't know what you call it, but you know, zeros and ones.
Code, yeah.
Yeah, thank you. That we're all living in an incredible time right now. And right in front of you, there's code all around. Oh my gosh, is there code? And some people can see the zeros and the ones and some can't. But I say this to everybody. Every single thing that happens to you every single day, there's a code within it. It's just, do you have the eyes to see and the ears to hear? And it's really happening. This is an incredible, incredible time for all of humanity. And it's a great change. And everybody just needs to adapt to this. Don't get stressed about it. It's going to happen. What we all need to do is jump into this energy and flow with it and be smart and try to handle this. It's going to be interesting. But you know what? Oh, woo, dude's cup is definitely half full here. And that's why I say, you must be one. With who, Joe?
The vulture.
Patience. Trust in the vulture. Okay?
My legs are getting tired waiting for that cheap.
Richard, let me ask you a question that I asked Janine on Wednesday night. I don't know if you're in the pre-show here, but a lot of the audience, again, were asking updates on silver. And Janine and I are long in the tooth answering this question because every time she pulls the cards on silver, it's the same thing. Huge abundance, generational wealth, reversals of fortunes, like absolutely amazing things for everyone. So I asked her this time around, what does universe have to say to those people who still haven't made the move yet, who are still waiting, thinking maybe, maybe not? I like what JC's saying. I like what Joe's saying, but I don't know. What would you tell these people right now, not just about silver, but about everything else on how to get their house in order here as we are just about to face major, major changes?
Howie, like we say up here in the Arctic tundra, it's going to snow out. You think you should put some booties and gloves on? Probably. It's like, really? Wait.
By the way, how far do you have extra cord on your mic? Like, could you go and put it like right in front of your face almost?
You want me to go professional? Look at this. Hi, it's woo-woo dude.
So therefore, that microphone is not plugged in.
I don't think so. Yeah, because it didn't
come louder. So your device is still using your internal mic as opposed to that external one.
Ah, those rat bastards. Sorry, man.
Yeah, that's all good. I can hear you pretty decently.
It's okay. It's better than last time, but I know it's annoying for the audience to have to come up, bring the volume up and down. I'm sorry, guys. We're doing the
Hey, it's annoying for me.
Okay.
Listen,
He's
flow with
IT
it, would you?
illiterate.
He's IT illiterate. Okay, next time, Joe, you have to get him on the phone and do this and test him with him. But Richard, yeah, what would you say to people other than, of course, being facetious about the boots and the gloves? What's going on right now? How quickly these changes are about us, and perhaps encouraging people to stand into their power, but to take actions from themselves and really get off the fence here as soon as they possibly can.
Well, you know, everybody has free will. And we could, what's the old thing? You can lead a horse to water. You can't make them drink it. It's really their decision. You know, you don't need to be a psychic, okay, to take a look around and understand this is happening fast. Now, you can either do something about it or not. You know, talk about patience. I bought my silver 8 years ago. Okay, and Spirit told me to do this, and it just sits there. I don't even think twice about it. You know, when it's time, it'll be ready. And it's like anything. If you know there's a storm coming, you should button down the hatches, and it's your choice. And if you decide not to, well, that's okay too. It really is. All right. Your future is determined by you and the choices that you make, and that's freedom of choice. But in all honesty, this is going to happen. I'm not going to change anything I said before. I just won't make things fit. I'm not into it. If I make a mistake, I make a mistake. And you know, I still believe that at the very end of December, going into January, is where these things happen. And I'll say something else. You know, I said 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3 type thing. That I just learned something that I didn't know, and that has to do with December 21st. That I always thought that we gained a minute of light, but I guess the sun or the planet or whatever goes sideways for 3 days, and it's always like the same thing, and then it happens. Supposedly, that's what I heard. And then I went, my gosh, okay. You use the word sideways, things go sideways. That almost makes me think that whatever this kinetic thing is, or this great change, or this interruption, or whatever it is, may happen on those 3 days. It's not like somebody knocked me in the head and gave me that exact date, but I'm just, again, like a code breaker, like the rest of you, trying to go, okay. And Spirit will give me so much, unless they yell at me and give me something, then that's a whole nother world. But yeah, take advantage of this and, you know, calm your heart here. Calm your heart.
Well, that's the thing. You're much calmer when you know you're prepared. And again, we just spent the first half of the show talking about this panic to own that's coming up. And we just don't want that for our audience to be in that panic mode, because that's not where you make the best decisions. So
no,
that people educate themselves before that happens.
Yeah. And that's also panic to sell. Calm down. You know, a lot of people talk about Joe. They go, son of a bitch, he was right again. That's because he is. He's a freaking vulture sitting up there just looking. Yeah, I'm not going to swoop down for that shit. No, I'll wait.
Yeah, I'm trying to double my bags, man. Not earn 10 or 15%. If I can help it.
You've been doing it.
And you know, the last time you were here, around Christmas time, Richard, you had talked about these visions that you had of these silver tubes, the tubes themselves being worth $50,000. I'll bring up that slide in a bit. But folks, if you're still looking for silver here before this all happens, please check out beyondmystic.net/silver. These are the discounts afforded to the Beyond Mystic audience by Miles Franklin. So you can get them there. Just fill out that contact form, and Andy and his brokers will get back to you very shortly. And we're about to do a Canadian announcement also here on Wednesday. So Andy will be on at 3 p.m. Eastern, and we'll be talking about something specific here for Canadians who also are trying to get some silver into their own hands. Now, before the next wackiness happens here in about 3 minutes or so, Richard, let's talk about XRP and Veritasium. I just recorded the last pay-per-view with Jim Willie yesterday. It's available now for the audience on our pay-per-view. But we talked about this patent that was just afforded to Reggie Middleton, and also what he sees, Jim Willie, being the role of XRP here moving forward. So guys, I encourage you to go watch that to get all the details in there and to educate yourself. But Richard, can you maybe forecast a little bit here for the audience? Because even now, since we started the show, everybody's like, XRP, what's going on with XRP, Richard?
Yeah, absolutely. And I really believe XRP will take its place when this change occurs worldwide with the SWIFT system. And I really believe we're knocking at the doors. And if I remember right, maybe 2 months ago when I was on your show, or I could have been on Joe's show, I couldn't remember. I said I kept seeing this guy, whoever's the guy that owns or the owner of Veritasium. And it came out in the reading a lot. People would ask me. And I saw this man traveling the world. And the interesting thing about him, now I know his name, Reggie, that I saw him shaking hands with really, like, from generals to heads of state. And I went, wow, something's happening with this, whatever it is. I've never followed Veritasium in any manner. I can't get it, so it doesn't really matter for me. But I saw this thing being in the works and people making agreements on it. And this was around the world I was seeing this. So that was interesting. And now all this stuff is coming out about it. So I find that pretty cool. And I'm telling you, this new fairness to the financial system that will work for all of the powers and the little people out there is somehow going to be connected to this XRP. I'm telling you. You know, when I saw those bankers shaking hands, and that was not a dream. That was a full-blown being awake vision. I went, my God. And that's why they kept saying, it's going to be bigger than what you think, but you need a lot of discernment on this. So, discernment, patience, I don't know. The way you want to take a look at it. But, you know, it's just like the cryptos. I've told people, and I've said it many times over on your shows, I'm not doing a damn thing until I get into January. So the only thing that I've done was pick a few more up. It was hard for me not to buy a lot more, but I went, it's too close to Christmas. Santa needs to save some money.
We need some eggnog. Come on, guys. So, guys, do go check out this episode between Bix Weir, Cliff High, and myself. We went into detail here about some of those temporal markers about Veritasium, where this whole storyboard started, where we're at now, and potentially here where we're moving in the near future. So that was the last episode, an emergency broadcast episode, in fact, by last Friday. So do go check that out for a little bit more details on that. Now, it's time for even more wackiness. Could you imagine, folks? More wackiness. Yes, tonight you can find my next guest here at pennykelly.com. Let's give her a big warm welcome. Penny, welcome to the show.
Welcome. It's good to be here.
Well, it's good to have you. Thank you so much for being here, Penny. Wow. Where do we start? How are you doing? You like the hats? We're trying to be festive.
I have one. I should have dug it out. Warning. Oh, wow.
That's awesome. How are you doing, Penny? I haven't seen you in a couple of weeks here. Let the audience know how extremely busy you are with your courses, with your new book coming out, and with the changes on your website here.
Yeah, I have been. I mean, it's been crazy. Tomorrow is like the end of a period of time. I almost didn't come on tonight because of some feminine vanity over having burned my face with hydrogen peroxide. And then thought, what the hell? I'm going on. This just sounds too fun to miss. So, I'm glad.
Thank you.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Well, Penny, we're going through some of the forecasting here. Joe and I started the show talking about some of the temporal markers, about panic to own, some of the shocks to the system that we're about to live here. A lot of tarot readers are seeing a lot of these tower card moments here for December. And as Cliff was saying in one of his last videos, when this starts to unravel, we're not going to see a reprieve. It's going to be fast and furious, and we're not going to see the down side effects of all this for quite some time. So maybe share with the audience here your outlook, the last one you did here, what you see coming up. I think the audience would be interesting to know. Well, if you have a look-see, that's fine, but also your gut feeling here as to what's happening. We're trying to bring all different points of views here in this conversation. We're, of course, having an adult conversations. In some cases, we'll agree, and some other cases, we'll disagree. And that's absolutely fine. We're all friends here. So let us know here, how do you see the future coming up?
Okay. Actually, there's, I've been trying to sort this out for more than a week. When I started the look-see, I guess I expected that it was going to be something, hang on a second here, let me turn that down. Something that was going to be just a continuation of what I had been seeing, and that isn't what I saw. I could see these little scenarios that look like we're turning the corner. And so I was like, oh my gosh, I think it's going to be okay. Well, then, so I put some of that in there, even though some of what I saw it looked like the financial system was down, like down. And I thought, what the heck? You know, it looked like it was okay. So long story short, I think we are headed into some kind of change, big change in terms of financial systems. I don't know if it's going to be as messy as what we fear it will be, but it's going to be messy. But it's mostly messy for the people who aren't paying attention. People who are ready, you know, psychologically ready, they are, it's like, okay, bring it on, bring it. People that aren't ready are just a basket case. And there's a lot of changes. I just caught the very last thing that Woo Woo Dude, is that your name, Woo Woo? Was saying when I clicked in and got into the backstage area, and I had that same thing. Ripple, something about Ripple kept coming up. Remember me telling you that somehow I clicked on something when I was in Coinbase and started buying Ripple automatically every month and didn't know it. And I get in there and I discover I've got this whole ton of Ripple. I'm like, where did that come from? And felt like a fool. And I just left it alone thinking, well, okay, I don't know how that happened, but let's just see what happens. That's almost like a sign from the universe. And so I thought, well, you know, I've kind of kept half an ear out for Ripple. And then this, even though I have not paid attention to cryptos much at all, I've been too busy reading other things that I think are far more, I'm going to use the word interesting, not necessarily that everybody would get what I'm reading about, because it's mostly about history. But the whole thing that I kept seeing was that we're very close now. Between now and January 14th, that day keeps coming up. Things come to a head. I'm not sure what causes that, but when it comes to a head, everything starts changing, and it just rolls on forward, and you better be ready. So, and you better be ready emotionally. There's not anything more that we can do. One of the things that I thought was really nice, looking at the financial collapse, was the people's attitude, which was most people were not really paying attention. A lot of people didn't care. A lot of people didn't even know what it meant. And I was like, where are you guys? And then the other piece was the attitude of people was sort of like, look, Mr. Banker, you better fix it. And you better fix it right. Because if you don't, we're going to fix it. And you're not going to like what we're going to do. And long story short, I followed all of this out for a couple of years, which I don't like to do because things change. And I think that's the big lesson for us as a population, is to stop expecting things to go back the way they were and stop expecting them to hold still and not change anymore. That just isn't going to happen. It's going to keep changing, and it's going to keep changing more and more dynamically. And because we've had such a planet-wide illusion going on for the past 50 years, the stopping of that makes for huge chaos, huge. So anyways, as what it looked like is that crypto's dropped. And then people ended up somewhere down the line reorganizing around that crypto, saying, this is our system now. We're running this. And the banks were kind of in the picture, but they were almost impotent in terms of making anything real happen or anything useful happen. Nobody trusted them. There were all sorts of new banks also, I might point out. And my thought was, okay, so cryptos have kind of a up and down ride over the next months and even the next couple of years. But in the long run, the people run the financial system. And that, I can't imagine how that's going to work. I just keep seeing that over and over. So, yeah, that's where I've been at with, and I haven't read anything. I haven't watched anything in terms of crypto. I haven't even looked to see what is it worth today or last week or even a few weeks ago. So I have no idea. I'm just going on pure intuition.
Okay. Okay. Thank you so much for that. And let me just add for the audience here who might just be tuning in. Joe and I were talking about this at the beginning of the offset of the show here. This was my last interview with Cliff and Big Swear last week. And on the board there, Cliff is pointing out some of these key temporal dates here where he's seeing huge emotional values. And you just mentioned end of January or mid-January. Yeah. He had January 7 also to January 28, I think, there as critical here as the big changeover of things. And what was interesting with that is right after that show, I had Janine and Julie, a new astrologer, come on the show, and they were explaining why these dates were also absolutely critical for a development here. So if you haven't seen that show, folks, please do go check that out. A lot of amazing, interesting information about these alignments and why perhaps the changes that Woo Woo Dude, Joe, and Penny here are talking about are actually taking form now. And the one key thing, maybe the takeaway from Cliff's video there also, is that we're not going into this world of systems. We're going away from that. We're going into a human economy. And this ties into what Penny's saying now. We are going to be in charge of our economy. What that looks like, I think nobody knows. And Cliff also said, I don't know. We're going to get there when we get there. But this is why we're having all of these adult conversations and trying to empower ourselves here as opposed to waiting for somebody on the external to do it for us. Fascinating outlook here, Penny. I really appreciate that. Joe, you had the opportunity here to watch Penny's last looks. Let me bring that back up on the screen here for the audience, and I'll bring that link down. So if you guys haven't seen the December 15, go check a look. Take a look at that. Joe, do you have specific questions for Penny here with respect to this or anything else here on your radar that you, Penny and I have been talking about here for the last couple of months? Go ahead.
I mean, not really. She just kind of talked about it, you know, some of the stuff that I remember her talking about. Yeah. And, you know, going back to some of the older looksies, you know, where she's like, okay, well, this looks like this is happening, and then maybe another 2 or 3 months goes by, and it's like, well, some of those things she said looks like it was happening, but then some of those things she said aren't happening. That's right. But she would always say, like, you know, look, things are fluid. This is what I'm seeing now, and never forget, things can change. Mm-hmm. And I've seen it, you know, so it's like, okay, here's what, you know, honestly, whether it was her, the web bot, or anything, gives this huge forecast. It's like, okay, well, here's what they said. Some of this is going to be right. Some of it's not, you know. And sometimes, because I can tell from her what she says sometimes, and some of the response from people, you know, that they don't like what she said. So she's like, you know, look, things can change, but this is what I got. So
yeah,
you know,
I get that on the show with Janine sometimes. So, well, you said this and everything that. Well, yeah, it changed. Like when I read, I have the energy of when I'm reading at that moment. And Janine has been also very clear that it happens sometimes where those cards can be interfered with by the collective. So if they're reading into a field of fear or of extreme fear, it might affect the outcome of the look-see. And I think for Penny, she's kind of said the same thing on the show before, but that's the point. That's why we keep looking. That's why we keep getting engaged with spirit to kind of foresee here what's happening. But this is why it's so important to have these conversations, to let each other speak, to have different views and different opinions, and to each recognize that we all forecast with different frequency bandwidth, and that's okay. And this is the point of me having all of these people on together for you guys tonight here just before our holiday break, is to bring all of these points of views together. Anything else you want to add to that also, Penny?
I think, yeah, I want to say to Joe that I got a message for him that I want to share with him before you go, Joe.
Okay.
Yeah, or even after the show, because it was very interesting. I was like, what? When am I going to see Joe? And then you called and said, you want to come on and join us tonight? I'm like, oh, well.
You know why that happened? It's so funny, Penny. I was talking to Joe about it today. Yesterday, Cliff High it rings me up and he says, JC, you have Penny and Joe at the same time slot. I'm like, I do? I was like, wait a second. I think Daphne asked me to push that back. But anyways, the two posters were on. And as I saw them, I'm like, wait, that's a sign from heaven. I need to ask Penny, even though she was postponing to a couple of weeks from now, let's have her on the show here tonight. And I asked Daphne, hey, I think Spirit wants us to all talk together tonight. So isn't that amazing?
Yeah, that is, because I had said, no, I can't. I'm up to here. I was, like, oh my God, I need a break. But it's coming. The break is coming. So the only other thing I would say is really around that whole subject of change. The question I want to leave people with is, how do we get to the point that we embrace change? What has to happen there? When do we stop having a million expectations, lost in illusions? At what point do we look ahead and see where the patterns are going, and how do we line up with that in order to have something better? A better world. So that would be it. Getting to the point where we're comfortable with change.
And somebody was mentioning in the chat earlier, and I think I want all of your takes on this. We just recently, and Cliff was talking about this too the other day, we just recently saw Klaus Schwab and Christine Lagarde make their way to Antarctica. And everybody's saying, okay, why are these people going to Antarctica? Why are they going there? They're definitely not speaking to penguins about anything about global warming. There's something out there, somebody else there, something else there, from whom they're taking marching orders. Do you want to start with that? Even if it's just gut feeling, Penny, what do you think just happened there in Antarctica?
I'm not sure. I read that. I tuned into it. My first gut reaction was, yup. My second gut reaction was, okay, who's intervening on our behalf? Of course, nothing came for that. So I just sat with it a little bit longer, and then thought, after you think about stuff, if you don't stick with your first intuition, you start thinking about it, then you start with, well, that could be fake, and that could be this, and that could be that. And so I just thought, okay, let's just leave that dangle out there and watch and see what happens. What I know is that we are turning the corner, and I see signs of that everywhere, and they're trying to fake it in the hopes that some last desperate thing is going to come along and save them, but it's not. And I just, what I've seen is people are standing there with their face hanging out, 2 months down the road saying, well, what happened? Nothing really happened. And what happened is, I think, a door to the old world is closing, the door to the new world is opening, and we have a chance to ask ourselves, okay, what do we want to do? How do we want to move forward? But I do see war on the horizon. It's down the road a piece, and that's like how we handle this little passage right here determines whether or not we end up with war after the 2024 election.
And Richard was just talking about war here, perhaps in Ukraine, also Taiwan. Richard, do you want to recap that, a few points of pennies, and also maybe add your own here to what you think is happening in Antarctica?
Yeah. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, go ahead, Richard.
Okay. I felt very strongly now for about 2 months now, as I've spoken about, Russia, Ukraine. There's a lot going on here.
Yeah.
And Jesus, I hope this doesn't get me killed. But sometimes when stuff comes in on you, you just gotta wow. All right. And so the other day, and I think I told Joe about this, that I was being told a few things that was really in my face. You know how I talked today about coding things, and sometimes they put things directly in your face and you're trying to figure out what the hell the meaning is. And it's like the NWO, right? What do we all know? What is the NWO? Come on. Anybody?
New World Order.
New World Order. Sorry, I was muted. Go ahead.
Okay. Come on, JC.
Sorry, me too.
Right. New World
Like
Order.
I said it.
Yeah. Well, you're doing sign language? So the spirit loud and clear said to me, no, the NWO does not stand for the New World Order. I went, what do you mean? They said they changed the name to fit the narrative. The NWO is the Nazi World Order.
Yeah.
They went to the Antarctic to get their last plans, okay, because somebody's arriving. And it's like, what have you done? Okay, what's going on here? It's the marching orders, okay? So they're going for it, all right? They're going to try to do everything they can.
Yeah.
But when you think about the New World Order, think about the people who started to say the New World Order and take a look at who they are associated with, right? All right. Now, they told me that there's 3 groups that are all fighting to control humanity through the financial system. The New World Order, which now you know who they are, all right? The Communist Party is the next one. And then the next one is the ones that are trying to bring balance to everything. There's your 3 competitions. So this rush to confrontation is basically the New World Order going up against Russia. All right? Russia's in the way. But I really believe that we're going to see something so dramatic, so quick, so upsetting. Now, understand the EU, NATO, all these. Who do they actually represent? Right? Okay. So a big spanking is about to happen. All right? And we're all going to watch it. And at the same time, I really believe America's going to be shaken because, oh, what do you mean we're not in control? That's right, you dumb bastard, you're not anymore. Okay? You're supposed to be being kind to people and shining the light instead of burning people's eyes out. All right? Things are going to be more equal in a playing field. And so even though this can really escalate hugely, it's kind of like the Canary Island. Okay? Like everybody thought, this is it. This is it. And I said, no. I says, I really believe they're going to stop this from happening. And I really believe that whatever's about to happen here, okay, it'll be really quick, but it'll change the world. And the world is going to change through the financial system. Because understand, that's how they control everybody, right? Finances. And it's not fair. It's not right. And it does need to change. It's wrong. And what's been done out there across the world is freaking disgusting. Okay? You follow my way, or we'll just destroy you. That shit's got to end. All right? If humanity's going to make it. and humanity is going to make it. All right. There's a bigger hand above all of us. All right. And there we have it.
Okay.
So I just call that marching orders, and I really believe that happened.
Yeah, thank you for that, Richard. Penny, I saw you nodding your head. Do you want to add to that? And then I'll also ask Joe to chime in here.
And I agree. You know, there's been such a long time. I haven't said, you know, very much about, well, I have said, people do know that I came here, you know, to teach the world about the mind and consciousness, but nobody ever says why. Why did you do that? You know, and it's part of this huge plan that has been very, very carefully implemented for a couple hundred years, at least, that has to do with timing of the need to expand consciousness and understand what it is and how it works and everything about plasma and frequencies. And, you know, how do I tune in? How does Richard tune in? How does JC give himself directions to have a dream, and then boom, has a dream? There are forces afoot that are, there's a war going on, all right. And those forces are not about to lose. And Richard is right. There's a bigger hand. There's a much bigger hand up there. I like that idea of the spanking. Thanks for that, Richard. So that whole thing, there's a bunch of people here that are working to turn the whole thing toward an awakening of consciousness, an expansion of spirituality, and to really be able to create a whole different world. We have to choose that. If we don't choose that, we are toast. Period. So.
You're muted.
Sorry, I had muted again.
Yeah.
Penny and I did go into quite a bit of detail into this in this particular pay-per-view. We put it there, of course, because of the language. We could never have gotten away with putting this on YouTube, but we got into these systems of galactic harvesting, I guess is the best way I can put it here on the show now. But if you haven't seen this episode, what Richard is alluding to now, what Penny's alluding to there, you'll see a lot of details to that effect. And now it kind of ties in also with respect to Antarctica. So difficult subject to broach here again on YouTube. But anyways, guys, do go check that out. Joe, did you want to chime in on any of this? And then maybe I'll ask you guys all your last words of wisdom before we go. We're already at an hour 15 minutes in. So Joe, anything else on either what Richard just said or Penny said that you want to share with the audience?
Nope.
Okay.
I have a single word to say about that.
Man,
I always feel like I was an audience member on that, so I'm just going to sit back and.
You know, Dave and I, when we're in the car with Joe for hours on end, sometimes we're like, Joe, use your words. It's okay. Use your words, Joe. Joe, how's baby Ian doing? Let's put a
He's
smile
good.
on his face.
Oh my God, he's so funny. He'll drop something on purpose and go, "Oh no, oh no." Like, bro, I just watched you slam that down on the ground. Don't act like you dropped that on accident, you know. And he just look up, oh no. But yeah, oh my God, he's so cute, you know. Or like he doesn't know how to say like come here or like follow me, so he's like
Right.
looking at me like, you know, you can just see his little face, and I'm like, follow you, and he's like, you know, I go in a little room, little playroom, his little cars are in there, and we're playing little cars and stuff, and
Right.
yeah, it's so cute.
All right. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to ask all of you to give last words of wisdom. So I'll start with Joe. I'll then go to Penny, who's on top of me, and then I'll finish with Richard. So Joe, first of all, what's coming up here on JSNIP4 2? Please, folks, if you haven't already subscribed to Joe, Joe was deleted just a little while back, and he's searching for his community again. So please do go hit that subscribe button and check out his videos. Are you taking a break for the holiday? Let them know what they can find here on YouTube. And also right now, in terms of this Panic to Own, what do you have to offer the audience here in terms of deep knowledge and the world of crypto here at patreon.com/JSNIP4?
Yeah, my Patreon, that middle one there, the JSNIP4's Crypto Woo, that's the one. It's like $20 a month, US dollars. And I pretty much tell you what I'm doing in crypto, or Woo Dude gives me a call. I just got a big download on Shiba, like he did about a month or so ago. that worked great. Or I have a dream about something, like, oh, they just showed me this incredible thing, whatever it is, if it's crypto related, or even if it's not, sometimes it's like, oh, I still need to share this. Stuff like that for the most part on there. My YouTube, I don't post as much as I used to. And the part of that, honestly, is, you do look around and you see just shit everywhere, protests, COVID vax, this and that, fighting, oh, look what they just did today. Look what they, and I'm like, yeah, I could report this every morning. Hey, here's your news, guys, every day. And I'm going, yeah, no, I don't want to.
Right.
So I'm just kind of like backing off and just doing other little things, here and there, just like.
And how are the helicopter courses going, Joe?
Yeah, I got a CFI I'm going to be working with, I think, early January.
Okay.
And I've got an exam coming up very, very, very soon that I was been studying for. So wish me luck on that. But I think I'll pass it, hopefully. And then after you pass it, though, you got to still get soloed in the vehicle, in this case, the helicopter, by the CFI.
Right.
And then after that, then you schedule with the FAA examiner, I guess, to do your what they call the checkout flight. Right. And then they also start asking you a whole bunch of questions, just like the test, except not a test. They're just going to sit there and talk to you and ask you, like, what happens in this scenario? What do you do in that? And if you don't actually answer enough, they're going to be like, I can't pass you. So it's like, oh, shit, I'm soloed. I got the exam done. You'll have to basically study again and then ask to do another check ride, I guess, after, I think, 30 days or something like that. So hopefully it works all out for me, but we'll see.
All right. So, folks, if you want to encourage Joe, do go and subscribe here at JSNIP4 too. And if you scroll down a little bit here, you'll see some footage of him in his last training course in the helicopter. Absolutely cool. And maybe he'll treat you to more of this footage. And, of course, you can find him also here at patreon.com/JSNIP4. And Penny Kelly, okay, I want to ask you words of wisdom for the audience here. In terms of, I kind of asked all my guests this in the last couple of weeks, but I haven't seen you yet. I want to talk about this transition that's coming up and what your guides, your spirit, whatever source is telling you on how best to navigate these changes that are before us. What would you tell the audience? What frequency to hold and who to surround themselves with, maybe? Let's start there.
Okay. Well, I was going to say the frequency is get high. High. But it might not sound right.
It could have been misconstrued.
Yeah, right. The higher the frequency. A couple things that I would say. One, I think we need to see that the population is splitting. People are choosing the shot and to believe that whole thing. They're going to be I think they're going to have a rough time. But so are we, because we love them. They're people that we love. Most of them are family and friends, et cetera, et cetera. And so that split that's what's happening. But I see that the split where, like, we that are on the side of, no, we're not having any part of that. We're not swallowing that. We don't believe all that SHIT. That's just not going to fly with us. That then has to be held, that position of openness and how would I say it, being able to hold the space for others that chose or made bad choices to come in, but we'll have our own set of things to be really disappointed about and really upset about and blah, blah, blah. But be aware that split is happening for a very distinct reason. And that the people that are not choosing to follow the narrative are really moving or movers in terms of where we're going. And you might end up having to haul a whole lot of people with you that are doubtful, don't believe, aren't sure, all of that. So be ready for that. In terms of the just the overall frequency of where we're at, God, if we could just get a little bit higher frequency, if people would understand that frequency controls consciousness and what you can tune into. If you tuning into the same old frequency and you're down there at 4 hertz, you're not going to pick up a whole lot that's really useful. You have to get to the point where you understand that all of the frequencies that are up high have different information that if you could tune into, you can pick up that information. Or over there, or, you know, that's, I don't think people have that concept yet. It's still all woo-woo. So,
Well, speaking of woo-woo and how to get a clue on that concept, what do you have for the audience here in terms of either books, material? I know you're working on a new book, and also upcoming classes here for the audience on Consciousness on Fire.
okay. Well, the new book I'm working on is called The Revival. I'm pretty close to having it drafted. I keep pecking away at it. Still needs a lot of polishing, but it really is a focus on here's how we used to think, here's how we used to see the world, here's where we're going, here's where I think we could go. And some of that is stuff that I saw in robes, some of that is way beyond robes. Because, you know, you grow, you have other experiences once you start awakening. And that awakening process, once you're into it 40 years, you get to a different place in terms of perception and all kinds of other stuff. So there's that. My classes, I think the classes, there's classes starting up in January. I don't know if the big intuition class 1 is full or not. I'm not sure.
And I see here for the first time, because every time you do this with me, they're always booked, but I see the registrations for the January 2022 Tea and Consciousness will open on Wednesday, December 22nd. Yeah. Folks, if you have been waiting for that one, just follow the class link here at consciousnessonfire.com. And very quickly, what about your Patreon? What's going on there for people who want to do maybe group meditations and follow along with your Tea and Consciousness? What program are they looking for, Penny?
A couple things are happening there. I think the big thing I would say is that I started to put together a 4-part series. Part 1 was on Kim Gogwin. The second was the financial system. The third piece was devolution. And the fourth piece was Donald Trump. Well, because things keep changing and information keeps pouring in, I'm now at this place where when I started into that whole subject, the thing just blew up to monstrous proportions. And so now I think I'm going to do a whole series on my Patreon that talks about what I know, just what I know, not what I read. Some of it maybe be what I read, but what I know that's backed up by some things that I have been reading lately. And so I'm a little bolder about saying, okay, this is why I'm here. This is where I'm from. This is what I'm doing here. You know, that kind of stuff. And that's all on Patreon. The other thing is we have some specials that have happened. I think we're going to run another one for health. It's been a big interest in health. And I was stunned at how many people were interested in just zeolite. It's like, holy cow. So I think that ended December 12th. Yeah, it did. So, but we may run it again because people are still coming back and looking for that.
Okay, I'll bring that link down.
We had some gift certificates also for the people that were in the $30 category. The Gamma is a range of consciousness.
This one here, on the right side. Okay.
Right.
Okay, very good. Okay. And so the link, folks, for that also is Consciousness on Fire. Stay tuned for these next promos on Zeolite. And of course, you can obtain those coupon codes as a member here on the Patreon at patreon.com/Penny Kelly. And while you're there on Penny Kelly, also, don't forget to fill in the subscription form so that you stay in contact with Penny and her team here as she produces these monthly materials for you guys.
Newsletter?
Newsletter. That's what I was looking for. It's lost in translation. It's my third show today. Okay.
Use your words, JC.
I know. It's like I'm slacking. All right. Mr. Woo Woo Dude, how about you? Last words of wisdoms for the audience tonight. I'll let them know also for those people who are looking at booking a private session with you to get a little bit more insights on how to navigate all of this stuff, what they can expect here at woowoodude.com, and also some words of wisdom here moving into these next couple of weeks where we see these 1, 2, 3s perhaps happening in very, very short order. Richard.
Well, number one, you know, you always have cloudy days out there. Always look for the blue skies. All right. We have beauty all around us. We focus on the fear and negativity of everything. And that's what you attract. There's such an incredible energy as basically all the vibrations are changing on our planet. They are rising. There's this beautiful force that's coming in if we're willing to accept it and spread it. And you just got to flow with this and really believe there is a bigger hand, because there is, and enjoy every single day. Listen, a lot of people, they believe in the soul contracts and so on and so forth. I've got to tell a lot of you out there that a lot of you have been drafted. Hate to tell you this, but you're part of God's army. You're on a mission from God, all right? And there are soldiers and warriors all over the world doing their part. Some are very spiritual, some are not, okay? Some are doing what they're supposed to do, but it is for the greater good of humanity. And you've got to have faith in this, all right? And enjoy every day. Don't run around, like a chicken with his head cut off going, oh my God, what's going to fall next? Don't do that. Enjoy everything. I do have one serious question for Penny. Penny, do you, in your look-see, do you see me getting a Dunkachino in January?
What the heck is a Dunkachino?
Just tell me if you see me getting one.
I'm going to say yeah.
All right, baby.
Whatever it is.
Everything's good. Everything's good.
It's like a cappuccino from Dunkin' Donuts.
Oh, my God.
Go for it. Oh, my God, yes.
All right.
A little
Then the
pleasure
world
goes
is
a
still
long way.
Am I allowed to say Merry Christmas to everybody? Is that
No,
illegal?
you have to say Happy Holidays. You can't say Merry Christmas.
No. Merry Christmas.
Yes, Merry Christmas.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Go out there with a good heart.
Yep.
Send that love vibration out everywhere. The energy's pouring in. The world is changing, and we're part of it. You're part of the army. Go for it. Here we are. The change is coming. It's just, are you going to adapt or not?
Yeah, exactly.
And if you're not, look me up on the other side. Okay, woo-woo dude.
And in the meantime, if you guys want a private session with Richard here, check him out at woowoodude.com. Thank you so much, Richard. Thank you so much, Penny and Joe. And for the audience here who are looking, of course, for the Panic to Own Crypto Crash Course that Joe and I put together tonight and up until, what did we say, Joe? Up until Boxing Day, so December 26th.
I think so.
Yeah. We have a 20% coupon code for you guys here, and that is Holiday20. So that'll give you 20% off coupon code here for the Panic to Own Crash Course, which will get you started very quickly here in the crypto market. Now, if you're also looking for silver, please check out our weekly specials here offered by by Miles Franklin here for the Beyond Mystic audience, and that's beyondmystic.net /silver. Now, last but not least, please do, wait, where is it? I'm somewhere here. Please do go and subscribe here to Beyond Mystic 3, my third backup channel. Thank you so much, everyone. I'm at 55,000 and growing strong here, and I appreciate each and every one of you guys. This was the Wacky Woo on Sunday, December 19. I love you again, and thank you so much, Penny. Thank you, Joe, and thank you, Richard, and thank you so much, everyone. Have a great evening, and we'll see you soon. Au revoir.